A good sweat isn't so good once the game is over. That's why there's Irish Spring Sport.
It has an extra antibacterial ingredient that kills odor-causing germs better than regular soap. It's Irish Spring Sport. Play as hard as you like.
Oscar winner Kevin Costner, Dennis Hopper, and Gene Triplehorn star in the network premiere with never-before-seen footage. Waterworld, ABC tonight.
Major League Soccer on ABC Sports, brought to you by Nike.
Major League Soccer's opening day here at Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, and we are just moments away from the opening kickoff. Take a look at the lineup starting in DC's net. Goalkeeper Scott Garlick, who came in the middle in a trying situation last year and led DC to their second straight crown.
And with Eddie Pope out with a foot injury, the Goose, USA national team member number 12, Jeff Agus, becomes the DC United defensive leader today. In the attack for DC, an outstanding two-way player, captain of the U.S. World Cup team this summer in France, a player with extensive English Premier League experience, number 6, John Harkes.
A little bit of a surprise in the Miami Fusion nets. Jeff Cassar making the appearance. A big day for him. The second big day this week. We'll talk about the other one a little bit later on.
Playing in the back for the Miami Fusion, the most experienced defender on the field today. He played for the USA in World Cup '94. Number 4, Clay Coyman. And orchestrating the attack today for Miami, one of the most recognizable and popular soccer players in the world, LP Bay the Kid, number 10, Carlos Valderrama.
Before we get underway, let's go down to the field and check in with Bill McDermott. Bill?
Thank you very much, Phil. You know, you can't lose sight of Valderrama, nor can you ever lose his creative individual abilities. Now, he's the guy to watch for, the number 10 shirt for the Fusion, their captain. Marco Echeverry, their maestro, their midfield general. Don't lose sight of him as well. He looks for Moreno and Wegerle running up top. When the offense comes through these two players, we'll be watching the battle of the number 10s all day long. Back up to you, Phil.
Certainly will. Hopefully it will be an enjoyable watch for everyone involved. The referee today, Brian Hall. He'll be the man in the middle, assisted down the lines by Greg Barkey and Roger Sill. Robbie Mann, the fourth official. Hall, FIFA registered ref, hailing out of California, blows the whistle, and we are underway. Miami Fusion history has begun promptly with a turnover. Carlos Valderrama's pass intended for Herrera was intercepted. A little bit of a surprise in the lineup. In fact, 2 for the Fusion just prior to game time today, Ty. Jerry Tamashiro was scheduled to be in there as a forward, the Peruvian international. However, they have yanked him because of a hip pointer. As the ball comes to Moreno at the edge of the area, Coyman bodies him down. It'll be a free kick in a very dangerous spot. So Dan Stebbins gets the call up front. And then for some circumstance, David Vaudreuil on the bench, an ex-teammate from D.C., John Maisner, takes his spot. Marco Echeverry lining up his kick, most likely trying to set it up. A very tentative three-man wall as Brian Hall makes sure they come back.
Without Eddie Pope in the lineup as a target for this kick, it's a question of who he can get it to.
Herrera leaning back and clearing it out of danger. Yamosa to the far side looking for Sunday. There's Maisner, the ex-DC United midfielder. How quickly can they get out of the midfield? They get it to Valderrama, and he finds Maisner on the wing. Into the middle, Serna. Herrera. Back to Serna, yanked down about 35 yards away, make that 30, and it'll be a free kick now for the Fusion.
We just saw perhaps why John Maisner was put in the lineup in place of David Vaudreuil, because of his speed down that left flank as Valderrama tried to spring him on the counterattack.
Quickly restarted, here's Serna. 24-year-old from Medellin, Colombia. Quickly sends that one a little bit closer to Medellin than the net.
What a gorgeous facility here for the expansion Miami Fusion. And perfect field conditions, 75 yards wide, giving plenty of space for those number 10s that Bill McDermott talked about to spread the ball around and hit those players in space.
Growing up in South Florida and watching the Strikers here at Lockhart, I mean, those were the glory days. When you take a look at what Ken Horowitz, the Fusion owner / operator, has done in such a short period of time, this is just a beautiful facility. Now can the team live up to it? We'll find out. Almost 3 minutes gone here in the first half. Jeff Agus getting set to throw it in just in front of the Fusion bench. Finds Wegerle. Brief resurgence. Promptly losing the ball, but good hustle from Richie Williams to
second Carlos Valderrama, number 10 in blue, or the Miami Fusion. And that's been a battle that's been going on now for 3 seasons.
Williams. Kerry Talley filling in for the ailing Eddie Pope.
DC United with these four players that will be with the United States team at the World Cup this summer in France. Eddie Pope not playing today because of injury, but Carlos Llamosa, who is playing as a central defender today for DC, is still a possibility for Steve Sampson's 22-man roster for France.
All he needs to do is take the oath of citizenship. Judging by his play on the field the past 2 years, here's Echeverry coming all the way back to the midfield. Williams helping him out. Pass to the middle to Wegerle. Cuts the ball. Dispossessed. Here's Herrera. Marcelo Herrera. Nice pass near side. Stebbins onside. Stebbins fires the shot. He kicked up the turf. So much time he didn't know what to do. A beautiful play by Marcelo Herrera, and Dan Stebbins could barely get the shot off.
Herrera set the table for him, and Stebbins miskicked it completely. He felt perhaps the opening day jitters. Nice crowd here. The first game ever for the expansion team in Miami. Stebbins could have put them up by a goal easily.
Diego Serna proving dangerous on those charges up the middle. Moreno taking him down that last time. Here's Wade Weber, ex of Dallas. Touched in quickly by Valderrama. Back to Tomasco, but spinning away across the end line, and a goal kick upcoming for the orange-clad, brightly orange-clad Scott Garland.
Miami Fusion in blue, playing with only 3 defenders, at least on paper. Tomasco playing that right midfield slot. He's got the same kind of speed that Meisner has out on the left side. With this space and Valderrama's passing ability, that's going to be a big part of their attack in the corners.
Llamosa, near side Agus. Almost solely a left-footed player, and that's caused him some problems when he's been put into situations where maybe a pass with the right would get him out of danger. Llamosa pressured by Stebbins. Back to Garland.
Could you be thinking about USA Jamaica, the World Cup qualifier in October?
That would be one of them.
Tough day for Jeff Agus, but in fact he said if the U.S. did not qualify for France, he would never forgive himself.
Long ball looking for Hartz in the corner. Will not stop.
Giveaway at the back by Agus nearly sunk the U.S. team's chances of going to France. They still ended up qualifying.
Jeff Gassar, the FIU product, right down the road. In fact, many might be wondering why the Miami franchise playing in Fort Lauderdale. There's really only about 20 miles separating these 2 cities in South Florida. So this almost a very familiar situation for Gassar. As the weather conditions definitely are. Henry Gutierrez, nice quick pass to Meisner. Here's Herrera. Touched away by Llamosa, and a corner kick upcoming for the Fusion.
So far, something that's been very effective for the Miami Fusion. In fact, because they're only playing 3 defenders and 1 man up top, they actually have 6 midfielders, and they've been able to overwhelm and congest the midfield and not let Echeverry have any space to operate on it, win the ball, and get forward.
Lots of height. We talked about Pope's absence, but you have Wade Weber and Clay Coyman. Here the short touch to Herrera. The pressure by Jeff Agus forces the ball off Valderrama, and it'll be a goal kick for DC.
Carlos Valderrama, the 2-time South American Player of the Year and the all-time Major League Soccer assist leader. He has a great weight on his shoulders this summer as he will lead Colombia into the 3rd consecutive World Cup for Carlos Valderrama.
Still really looking for their first good showing. This is the last gasp for the gas house game, I guess you'd say.
That whole generation of players who really impressed so much, particularly in World Cup qualifying before '94. And they were able to thrash Argentina.
Gutierrez, a Miami product. In fact, the only Cuban-American in Major League Soccer ending up in Miami. A little surprise there. Pass up front looking for Serna. Bounces across the far side, and it will be a throw-in for DC. Gutierrez in a little bit of a different role along with Serna today. Both of them offensive creative players, but playing a defensive holding midfielder position.
That's necessary because Valderrama is not expected to be doing that hard work and chasing back and defending in midfield.
Office Depot.
Let's go down to the field and find out about the playmakers with Bill McDermott.
Well, we talked about the two number 10 shirts. Valderrama for the Fusion, Echeverri for DC United. Valderrama not as active as Marco Echeverri. Echeverri will come back and try to get the ball out of the backfield if the defenders are having a difficult time doing that. If he has a chance to do that, he won't hesitate. Valderrama wants to get his wide midfielders involved as much as possible. He will show and then play them early, Phil.
John Harks, the long ball across, and a little too long even for Tony Sane. Harks, by the way, looks fit, says he's fit, says he's in the best shape he's been since he's come back. That's good news for him. As far as Sane, this is perhaps the most undersung player in MLS.
Tony Sane, a goal in each of the last two MLS Cup finals. One by DC United.
One to start the comeback and the other one to win the second. Moreno. Those of you who might not recognize him if you caught him last year on ESPN, he's gone back to his natural black. At least I think it's natural.
It was quite a dye job he had in the MLS Cup final. He set things running for DC United, scoring their first goal in that championship game. If you look at Jaime Moreno, probably the most dangerous one-on-one dribbling player, with a little bit of apology to Preki, who was the top scorer last year. In fact, Jaime Moreno came just 1 point shy of eclipsing Preki in that scoring race at the end of the season.
Camasco trying to get under it. Jeff Agus slams into him. And Gutierrez starting it quickly, a nice touch by the Fusion. They are not looking odd at all against the two-time champs. Here's Moreno. Camasco on his back. Moreno does his version of the stick man, draws a free kick. Brilliant counterattack by the Fusion when they really don't have a true forward out there other than Stebbins, who has to do a lot of the running. They need to be able to make those counters count.
Well, there's some surprise involved in their setup because any one of the 6 midfielders could run through.
The shot slamming off the side netting. Jeff Cassar not happy with that one.
A chance a moment ago for the Miami Fusion. Actually, this is the free kick by Marco Echeverri towards the back post, headed just wide. It was a very dangerous chance. Just before that, the heroic defensive play at the back by the rookie, Kerry Talley. Look, he's about to be outraced by Dan Stebbins with the slide. Gets his toe to it and puts it out of danger.
Kerry Talley. Leo Cullen, have not yet talked about him, but two youngsters, two MLS rookies in the center of the defense for their respective teams today. A lot riding on them. Kerry Talley out of North Carolina, actually drafted last year by DC, did not make the team as Camasco tripped up. Picked up in the supplemental draft this year and impressed Bruce Arena enough to put him into the starting lineup. He's been playing defense all year long so far through the preseason, despite being a midfielder coming up. Cullen, meanwhile, the #1 pick in the college draft out of Maryland, and he has grabbed that spot in the middle of the defense and not let go since he came into camp.
That is a position that takes a great deal of maturity, so a young player doing that tells you a lot about his abilities.
Gutierrez slamming it off of Harks. Moreno looking to make the turn, and Leo Cullen very quick to cut that ball off.
Very cool.
If he didn't, once Moreno makes the turn, not many defenders are going to catch him.
Nobody catches Moreno.
Echeverri with a magical left foot. Just a flip of the ankle, and he sends it across the field to Sane. Cross, sailing dangerously through the box, but no one on the receiving end, and a goal kick for Cassar. Next on ABC Sports on the West Coast only, kart racing action begins when Toyota presents the Grand Prix of Miami. Defending champion Michael Andretti joining 97 Series point champ Alex Zanardi, Al Unser Jr., and Canadian Paul Tracy at the starting line. Next on ABC Sports on the West Coast only. Harks cutting past Serna. Nice cutback pass to Richie Williams, who was pushing up. Gutierrez picks up the loose ball.
Cullen again was very well positioned to cut that ball out.
Here's Herrera against Talley. Herrera bodies him away, knocks it back towards Camasco. Gutierrez towards Valderrama, who was slid into hard by the wee one, Richie Williams. Here's Harks. DC on a charge. Sane far side. Into the middle for Wegley. Deflected across the end line. And it will be a corner kick. They'll say it went off Cullen. If you're Cacho Cordova, the head coach of the Miami Fusion, in your screen right now, how do you feel now, Todd?
Cacho's got to be on pins and needles. His debut as a head coach at the professional level. He spent the last 2 seasons as the assistant coach with the Dallas Burn. And Miami's a big challenge for Major League Soccer and for Cacho Cordova.
12.5 minutes gone so far in this one. Still no score. Miami's actually had perhaps the better offensive chances. One header hitting the side netting by Tony Sane a few moments ago for DC. Try it again. Left-footed blast towards the far post. Moreno lets it run. Williams chipping it back in. Sane towards the spot. Oh, and Kerry Talley almost tucked it into the upper 90.
Well, Tony Sane is nearly the only target in there remaining without Eddie Pope in the lineup. Eddie Pope had surgery on his right foot about 2 weeks ago. He's almost coming back from that injury, but not quite. Kerry Talley, who pushed up from his defensive position to be a part of that corner kick situation, took that ball from Sane, put it just inches wide.
We're going to call a foul, handball on Marcelo Herrera. Of course, Talley, part of a very good program at North Carolina. I mentioned he played along with Eddie Pope for a couple of years. Greg Berhalter, part of that defensive alignment as well. Who's found fame in Holland, and if he can stay healthy, a spot on the national team. Here's Gutierrez. NC State faced off against Talley several times. Knocking it back. Leo Cullen. Bissar. Near side. Weber trying to open up some space. DC pushing forward. Almost challenging the Fusion to get something going deep. Herrera does get ahead to it. Here's Camasco against Degas. Battle of number 12's Camasco with the cross. Into the middle, the header by Stebbins. Straight to the turf goes Garlic. A beautiful play and an even better save.
Those are the attacks that we talked about coming from the corners. Camasco has a great deal of speed racing out of midfield to get down there in the corner, and he served a brilliant cross onto the head of Stebbins. Stebbins not getting quite enough velocity on it or power to get it past the goalkeeper Garlic.
Nice pass, Sane back to Williams, touch the shot in, goal! Goal for DC. They split the defense on the far side. Sane lays it back and Williams slams it home.
And that's how quickly it can happen from end to end. Just a moment ago, the head ball by Stebbins, saved by Scott Garlic, and on the counterattack, DC United made it pay, and really the Miami team got a little bit spread out, sending players into the attack. Tony Sane, look how much space he has, as well as Richie Williams. So Richie Williams did the right thing. He didn't need to power that. He just placed it into the corner of the net. We look at it again, and it's a tremendous setup, in fact, by Tony Sane. He picked his head up and picked out Richie Williams near the top of the box.
Now, how do the Fusion recover? They had the better of chances just seconds ago, thanks in large part to Marcelo Herrera's heroic dive in to save the ball on the head. Almost took the lead. Herrera dragged down here.
Definitely some great end-to-end action. We have our first yellow card of the Major League Soccer season.
Canadian Jeff Onger pulls it down as he pulled Herrera down near midfield.
Onger playing right back, a position he's not used to playing. He was a traded midfielder, in fact, for the Seattle Sounders in the A-League last season. His buddies up there call him the babyface assassin. We saw perhaps why there as he got the yellow card for a late foul.
The assist, number 9, Jaime Moreno. And number 20, Tony Sane.
Echeverry, near side, the goal scorer Williams, laying it into space. Nice cut by Harks. Oh, quickly coming in Camasco to shut the door.
Support by Camasco saved the day because Cullen was beaten there by that cut by John Harks.
Nice touch by Herrera. Valderrama. Camasco now making the run. Instead, he'll flip it towards the near side. If that had hung up a little bit more, Herrera might have gotten to it.
Regularly dropping very deep there to collect the ball for DC United. And he will do that. He likes to run with the ball from midfield, whereas Moreno will stay up top a bit more as a target man.
Not so much Waverly and Moreno, but how does Waverly change DC from Diaz Arce of last year?
Diaz Arce is an out-and-out striker, a goal-scoring specialist, whereas Moreno was a bit more similar to Roy Waverly. So they will take turns coming out of midfield and collecting the ball from there. But it is a big hole for DC United to try and fill in the loss of Raul Diaz Arce. He left for New England in that trade.
Take a look at what DC's been able to do. Not good news for the new kids on the block. Their goal coming in the 16th minute here today. Richie Williams, his first of the season. Sane and Moreno made the nice through pass to Sane, getting the assists.
The first time, in fact, that DC United has ever scored in an opener. They lost the 96 opener to San Jose 1-0 on Eric Winalda's goal. And then their opener last year against LA ended up in a eked out a shootout victory.
Here's Maisner entering the box against his old teammates. Maisner still trying to get something going. Still Maisner passes the ball through to Serna, but he would have been offside.
Which is why he did not play the ball, hoping perhaps one of his teammates might pick up on that pass, and the offside would then not be called.
So no offside, just a goal kick for Garlic. Weber with Harks challenging him, and Kassar forced to come out of the box to clear it away. DC has definitely turned it up a notch.
Played a little bit tentatively at the start. And they are missing 3 players from that championship match of last October. Eddie Pope out with the injury.
Nice move by Gutierrez. Better pass by Gutierrez. Here's Camasco, one-touch Valderrama. Back to Camasco. Back post is open if he can get the cross in. Now numbers coming in to try and save the day. Still Valderrama sliding it through. Stebbins onside. Stebbins just wide of the net. And Carlos Valderrama cannot believe it. He gives the thumbs up for the beautiful read, but Dan Stebbins just missed tying it up by inches.
An outstanding run by Stebbins, but an even better delivery here by Valderrama. Just tucks it in. He really threads the needle. Stebbins on the turn, though, tops the ball, gets some topspin on it so that it's spun just wide. But what Valderrama likes is the fact that they're on the same page in terms of the understanding to link up on those type of passes. And Valderrama could deliver pass after pass like that, and Miami will have that many more opportunities because of it.
United started out slow, but they seem to have been picking it up of late. Bill McDermott, can you add anything to that?
Yeah, exactly, Phil. The DC United forwards in the persons of Moreno and Wegerle really making the defenders for the Fusion play out of the backfield. They're making them play, they're causing turnovers, and some of the midfielders for Fusion are not coming back to show, making it difficult for their defenders to play out of the backfield. Phil?
Thank you very much, Bill. Diego Serna coming in to pick off that. Taken out promptly by John Harks.
John Harks is a very good two-way player. We saw some of his attacking skill a moment ago as he cut the ball in the box, but you saw here his tackling ability, his ability to come back and win the ball for his team. So he's that much more valuable because he can do it going both ways.
And Camasco, in fact, the last MLS game he played in was against DC United for Colorado in MLS Cup 97 in the rain at RFK. Camasco and the Rapids proved that they were no fluke. Marcelo Balboa almost bicycle kick away from, who knows, putting on the slipper for good. Williams taken out, foul against the Fusion, to the boos of some of the fans in the stands.
Echeverry with white shoes today. We've seen him also wear red ones in the past.
Sane, who made the nice run, which Moreno recognized, which led to the goal in the 16th minute.
22-30.
Beautiful flighted ball to Agus, right to his feet. Here's Echeverry, bending it to the middle. Kassar out to grab it just shy of the spot. Here's Serna.
That's why those crosses are so dangerous, because they have that wicked curve to them that takes them away from the goalkeeper and onto the heads of any attackers running in to try and get on the end of them.
Moscow. Serna with space. Yamosa struggling to come over and catch him. Slams in a shot. That was either a shot or a cross. It didn't matter. Just put it in the goal mouth, and it almost ended up as good tidings for the Fusion.
He did not mean it as a shot, but because of that, he nearly fooled Scott Garlick in goal for DC United. Serna snuck one by him practically by accident.
Stranger things have happened. Moscow, nice touch to Herrera, but he is intercepted. Phil Shane, Ty Keogh, Bill McDermott with you here at Fort Lauderdale's Lockhart Stadium. It is opening day of Major League Soccer 1998 and the first ever game for the expansion Miami Fusion. Goal coming in the 16th minute from Richie Williams on a nice drop-back pass by Tony Sane, slamming it into the open corner, and Williams picking up the first goal of the new season. Let's go down to field level, check in with Bill McDermott and the leading coach, DC's Bruce Arena.
Thank you, Phil. Bruce, an early lead, but some gaps in the backfield I'm sure you're unhappy about.
Our organization in the back hasn't been good, and again, another example there. Callie's been exposed a little bit in the back, and Agus needs to do a better job tucking in and helping them. Their midfield's winning a bunch of tackles. We got to get a little bit more help for Richie Williams with Hawks and Santa.
Thank you, Bruce. Phil, Bruce Arena, the head coach.
Well, you always get the truth out of Bruce Arena, don't you? He tells it like it is, and there have been some gaps opening up in the DC United defense. In fact, Dan Stebbins, with a little bit more skill, a little bit more luck, might have 3 goals already on the day.
Yamosa just picking himself up off the carpet. Slammed into by Herrera, winning the Argentina yellow card. Here's Wagley. Very deft and dangerous with the ball at his feet. Sane. Back post. Wagley can't get ahead on it. Coyman did. Across the end line, it'll be a corner kick. Number 3 for DC. Dan Stebbins has come close today for the Fusion. Richie Williams has scored. That's the difference. And really, when you take a look at the Fusion from the beginning of the season, that was going to be the difference. They have a lot of midfielders as Herrera is called offside. In fact, today you could say they're playing a 3-6-1. Loaded in the midfield, but who's going to step up and score goals? Today, Dan Stebbins was given the opportunity, and while he's gotten the chances, he hasn't done it yet.
Stebbins, remember, his first one, a shot he totally muffed. He didn't get anything on it. The second one he put inches wide. His third one he shot directly at the goalkeeper. Now a polished finisher, a high-level attacking player, not a guy as inexperienced as Dan Stebbins, puts a couple of those away.
Jeff Agus, Richie Williams, sliding through. Great read by Clay Coyman, picking it off of Jaime Moreno. Here's Valderrama, nice run by Serna. Across the midfield strike, pressured by Sane. Bangs the ball off of Sane. It'll roll into the box. Harmless ball for Scott Garlick to pick up. By the way, the game is now officially a sellout here at Lockhart Stadium and in the newly reconfigured confines of the Fusion. 21,000 is what it takes. They're actually turning people away as cars continue to try and ply their way into this stadium. Of course, their next game coming up against their fellow expansioneers, Chicago, next Saturday on the 21st. Chicago against Miami in the Fire's season opener, and that'll be a real test to see which team has been put together better, at least early on.
Expansion is an exciting time, but it's a scary time, especially like today when Miami faces the two-time defending champion DC United squad.
Moreno making a run. And he'll look for it. Nice ball. Moreno, one-touch cross.
You know, I think Echeverry could have placed that pass better with his foot, to tell you the truth.
Oh, almost touched in, but just over the bar by a sliding John Harks.
DC United has excellent balance in their midfield. Harks gets forward. We saw Tony Sane a moment ago come back and defend because of that. Richie Williams gets caught forward and vice versa. They really switch off for each other. Good chance here. Kerry Talley trying to find John Harks at the back post. Harks barely getting to it in the super slow motion and agonizingly couldn't turn it onto the net.
Herrera's pass intended for Valderrama. Just a touch too quick, but Agus forced to slide it away, so it'll stay Fusion ball.
What I like about this game, right now, is the space that is being utilized by both teams. They really are trying to link up and build through midfield. You're not just seeing them crank the ball forward and then chase it. His background
Boca Juniors.
Boca Juniors, exactly. That's a bad foul.
Tomasco took him down. That's Echeverry on the carpet. A red card ejection on Jaime Moreno. And it looks like Coyman's going to get a yellow. Coyman might have instigated something, and the response from Moreno off camera earns him an ejection. And normally, that's one of those 7 dangerous words. But no sign of hesitation from Brian Hall. Initially, I thought it was going to be on Matt Tomasco's tackle of Echeverry.
I thought so too, but for DC United now, they will be playing without their 2 top scorers from the '97 season. Diaz Arce has left for New England on the trade. Jaime Moreno now ejected from this match in Miami.
So now DC will have to play a man short, let alone a leading scorer short, for the entire game. It's 10 and 11.
You see Coyman putting his arms into... Now that's the bad foul. We got to take it back further. At the very start of that, we had the arms of Coyman going into Jaime Moreno's face, and I'm sure Moreno retaliated and then was ejected because of it.
Cassar will grab hold. Touching it in for Serna.
The replay showed Coyman putting his arms into Moreno's face, but then they left our screen, so you don't know what Moreno did to him away from the play.
Now DC has the lead. Waverly probably will be forced to push up a little bit higher, but knowing Bruce Arena, does he really change the way he plays with a man down for more than a half?
He has the lead, so he may change it slightly, but he loves to attack, and he knows he still has enough talent out there to be able to go forward.
Herrera, Gutierrez, Tomasco, offside. No hesitation by Greg Barkey.
Matt Tomasco is getting a yellow too. Miami Fusion trying to get forward. Tomasco just...
That is not offside.
Probably not offside if you look at when the ball left the midfielder's foot.
And things getting a little ugly here at Lockhart, and the fans letting them know. Jaime Moreno being escorted off the field. And of course, he'll have to miss DC's next game, which will be our next broadcast. Valderrama. Serna. Here's Herrera with some space, and Maisner making a run. He'll have a shot instead, and it forces a diving save by Scott Garland.
A pretty good idea, in fact, out of Popeye Herrera. He tried a long-range shot because Garlic was spraying a little bit from his line.
ESPN2 kicking off its MLS coverage, a matchup of 2 league powerhouses. DC United, now minus Jaime Moreno, playing host to 97 Honda MVP Preki and the Kansas City Wizards. And talk about a guy who's playing well. Preki right now playing on fire. Saturday night on the Dude. Valderrama near side. Gutierrez as the Fusion pushing for an equalizer with a man advantage for the rest of this one. Weber near side. Tomasco flips it on. Back heel flip by Herrera. Tomasco on the run. Tomasco gets past Talley. Tomasco rolls it across. In the box. 7 pulled down. They're going to say he played. Going to say he acted a little bit. Or regardless, the contact incidental. Goal kick for Garland.
It looked to be a pretty fair challenge there by Kerry Kelly. We'll see here. Egu's trying to get the inside track. Tomasco does very well to get the ball out in front. Now here's Stebbins in blue stepping into it. He is clipped though by Yamosa. He is clipped. That is very much close to being a penalty kick. We'll see it again here. But I think there was no real intent by Yamosa as he went into challenge.
Still, especially with the new FIFA mandates, the MLS saying they were going to do this before FIFA even started talking about it.
He definitely clipped
Any
it.
tackle from behind should be a red card, let alone in the box being a penalty kick.
Yamosa was attempting to play the ball, but he did clip Stebbins.
Talked about the DC with the off-the-wall altercation between Coyman and Moreno, resulting in Moreno's ejection. foul called as Echeverry hits the carpet. And Echeverry telling Williams to slow down. Flying a man down in humid conditions for over an hour.
Bruce Arena stand up from the bench about a minute and a half ago and actually signal to his midfield and to his defenders that down and make sure we don't give anything away, especially because we're a man down before the end of the half.
Gutierrez's pass picked off. Nice ball. Echeverry. Believe me, DC is dangerous even with the man down. Cut past Gutierrez. Echeverry in the box. Falls, and the foul will be with just outside the area.
It was just outside the box, but it's inexcusable for Miami having a man to leave a player like Echeverry with that much space in the play leading up to this foul. Echeverry will collect the ball and run with him for about 30 yards before he slipped there on the ankle from behind. I wait.
Good position by Brian Hall, the official. No hesitation on that one.
He was right on top of him. Good position.
Parks with a strong right foot. Echeverry, a very tough one, as you may have seen in the past few years. Shot. Five-man wall. Echeverry. Far post. Oh, off the bar. And the rebound shot put in by Sane. When the shot came in, Sane lost his marker, Coyman. The ball found his foot, and he found the back of the net. It's 2-0 DC.
A mad stroke initially by Marco Echeverry on the free kick, pinging it off the post. Tony Sane opportunistically there to pounce on when it came across. But look at Echeverry, so delicate. He wields that left foot like a paintbrush, strokes it in there, and then Tony Sane finishes it off. Good marksmanship also by Tony Sane. He didn't panic. He kept the ball low, put it out of the reach of the Miami Fusion goalkeeper, Jeff Cassar. Tony Sane, league opener, 498.
Sane, 3 appearances on the national team to his credit. At the age of 26, he keeps developing in the Blues. The goal coming from Tony Sane in the 36th minute. The assist. Actually, there would not be an assist off the post, but Echeverry did create that.
I'd give it an assist. He puts that wide, there's no goal. Puts it right at the goalkeeper.
Pass back to Agus. Almost skips out of play.
Of course, that was the midfielder. I was only looking for those assists.
As a goalkeeper, I'd be looking for Echeverry for another reason at the moment. As the Olays roll out from the crowd. Williams far side. Here's Jeff on. Tries to cut back to Sane. John Mason has not had much to do over the last 30 minutes. Gutierrez hard back by Yamosa.
Echeverry trying a long range one. Again, you see players shooting from such a long range. You think, how could they possibly beat the goalkeeper? What happens, the goalkeeper tends to play their line. They stand out to try and catch any loose balls that might come through the defense. By doing that, to try and lift the ball over the top of the play.
Moscow sliding through, deflected. Gutierrez for Miami. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half here in Miami. To Moscow. For another chance for the Fusion. Back post. Coyman. On Germain. Coyman wishes he had that pass back. Serna, pretty piece of work. The pass from Valderrama, just not hard enough. Here's the white-clad Hearts, although he's not wearing the armband today.
That's the United States World Cup. They're on the ball now. DC. And today, Marco Echeverry is the captain for DC United.
Best of now, the first time the Hearts has been available and in the game for DC that he has not won. Sounds pass a little off the microphone. Maybe he'll pick it up.
As we mentioned, at least 4 DC United players were at the MLS season because of their participation in the World Cup with the U.S. World Cup team. And Parker is one of them. Wickerly is a potential candidate. Eddie Pope is for certain. And Jeff Agus has a very good shot, obviously, too. About Yamosa, who keeps getting stronger and stronger in the central defense for DC DC United.
By the way, World Cup action also on ABC and ESPN. It all gets underway on the 10th. It's the first game for John Hart's in the U.S. against Germany on the 15th of June. By the way, same day in Lyon. Carlos Valderrama and Colombia will take on Romania. The Fusion seemed to have lost a little bit of the physical that was starting things out. As Carlos Valderrama and Echeverry playing neck in neck in all areas but the scoreboard.
Another father chance here for DC United. They are perhaps at their most dangerous in these situations because they have players who can really pick up their teammates at long distances in dangerous position.
Sonic, Echeverry, back to Yamosa. Sonic, a triangle of blue shirts. Andre, back to Sonic. For the big end. So, nice touch, but he cannot keep it in play. Across the end line and a goal kick upcoming. Jeff Cassar and Miami. Inside Major League Soccer with columns from Mike Sorg. Highlights and scores always on America Online. Keyword ABC Sports.
Miami really has to press now to try to get on the scoreboard before halftime. They have a 2-0 deficit, but they have a man advantage. It's time to risk a little bit more, get some players forward, and create some authoritative attacking soccer.
Here's Serna, one-on-one against Andre. Puts the body in front of him as the ball rolls across the end line, and it will be a foul. Andre, no attempts to play the ball on that one. What has Miami been unable to do over the past 15 minutes? They were so successful at the pitches earlier.
Earlier on, they were especially unable to finish chances that they did create, but DC has gone a little more man down. DC holding their players back, trying to compensate for that red card rejection to Jaime Moreno. There's less space for Miami to use going forward.
Bruce Areno looking on, his team holding a 2-0 lead. They are a man shy for the rest of this one. Jaime Moreno tossed out.
It's really unfortunate for Miami that Jerry Tamashiro, their out-and-out striker forward, was not able to start today because of the hip point. Having some more inexperienced players. Chances on goal, not finished.
Echeverry held the upwards pass into stride for Sane. Fights off Maisner. Almost chips it up, but Cassar grabbed hold, and that was a lot harder for Cassar to handle than it looked.
That looked like a practice scrimmage for DC United from last season. Trying to defeat Tony Sane, his teammate of last year. Was the super sub for DC United last year. He was lost to DC in the expansion draft to Miami.
Herrera to a wide open Moscow with 2 minutes to play. One touch cross. Actually, Herrera gets ahead to it, but someone caught him on the heel as he was coming down. He is walking with a limp. And as far as the ball goes, safe hands of Scott Garland. first half as we're close, 2-0 DC. Let's go back to John Saunders in our live World of Sports studio in New York.
DC United looking for the three-peat, and they start the season on a good note. In the first half, a 2-0 lead over the Miami Fusion. Stick around. When we come back, we'll look at the NCAA tournament. There's a Cinderella still at the dance. That and more when we return.
Present the MasterCard Punch Kick 98 promotion. Gear up for the start of the 1998 MLS season and be prepared to sing with MasterCard at a participating Gym Sports store. Get 10% off on all MLS merchandise and enter for a chance to kick out an opening game ball or win a trip to France for World Cup 98. It's your call. Make sure you pull out the right card. MasterCard First Kick 98. Catch the Metro Stars take on the Los Angeles Galaxy live on ABC Saturday, April 11th at 3 p.m.
It's just you out here in the world, trying to run. Your muscles, your mind, your will, your skin. If you add anything, what would you add? Why would you add it? Nike Fit Performance Apparel. The evolution of skin.
Telecast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer. From ABC's Wide World of Sports studio in New York, here's Saunders.
2-0 DC United has the lead. Don't forget, coming up for those of you on the West Coast, Toyota presents the Grand Prix of Miami. Right now, let's check in the NCAA tournament, who is moving on to the 16 today out of the South. Oklahoma State, Eddie Sutton, longtime coach in Lexington and Kentucky, couldn't get it done this game. Duke, 79-73 final. Sean McLeod with 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. Trajan Langdon had 17 points. He was 5 of 13 from the field, 3 of 6 on three-pointers. They'll go on to face Syracuse. Interesting matchup. A win over New Mexico in a showdown game, 56-46. Todd Bergen had 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists. New Mexico had 3 players in double figures, but they shot just 25%. Syracuse never trailed in this one. St. Louis got blown out from the get-go. 88-61. Jeff Shepard had 18 points to lead 5 Wildcats in double figures. Tubby Smith now, his third different team in Sweet 16 in 5 years. Did with Tulsa twice in 94-95, Georgia last year, and then Kentucky in 1990. Actually, 3 years with Georgia. Here's a look at the South bracket. It will be Duke going on to face Syracuse and Kentucky, awaiting the winner of a game that's going on now. UCLA 32 against Clemson. Foul out. They picked up a technical. They gave Stanford a 7-point play, and they went on to the bench. Arthur Lee had 24 points and 7 assists. Young had 19 points, 13 rebounds. Valpo marches on. Cinderella does get to the Sweet 16, the lowest seed to make the 16 since 13 seed Richmond did it in 1988. They are also a 13 seed. Rice Drew had 22 points. Jamie Sykes had 19 points. So let's take a look at who is marching on. Valparaiso awaiting the winner of Kansas and Rhode Island, and Stanford is well waiting for Detroit and Purdue. In the women's tournament, in the second round, Florida International, no match for North Carolina, 85-7 final. Tracy Reed with 17 points and 10 rebounds. Stick around. We'll come back with more in just a moment. DC United has the lead. We're going to look at a great April after a message and a word from your ABC stations.
Place to hide. An all-girl school seemed perfect. How could it be? Mr. Headmistress, ABC tonight at 7, 6 Central.
When Wilson's niece stays with the Taylors. Oh my God, Wilson's niece. And now, no bar will be left unturned.
Oh, yeah.
A brand new. Then the executive producer of Roseanne has done it again.
It doesn't surprise me.
A show that's just as sharp, just as witty, and has twice as much spunk. That's life. ABC St. Patrick's Day. New Hot Pockets Pizza Minis. The crispy mini with big pizza taste. Hot Pockets Pizza Mini. Have a real crispy, real pizza taste right from the microwave. Hot Pockets Pizza Mini. A crispy microwave mini with big pizza taste. What's so hot about new Hot Pockets?
Crispy, crusty, tender, flaky crust.
Hot Pockets is an oven-baked taste right from the microwave. So your favorite Hot Pockets fillings are inside a
crispy, crusty, tender, flaky crust.
Every time.
What are you gonna pick?
New crispy, crusty, tender, flaky crust.
Where'd you get that brand new car?
George at the Auto Mall. No maps, no roads, no problem. Got a new Jeep by George.
I came from Detroit by George. So many Toyotas.
City rise up, popping all the news we got.
I wanted stylish comfort. That meant Lincoln Mercury by George.
I jumped on the value by George. The savings Sunday blew me away.
Hey, where'd you get that brand new car?
Where else? By George at the Auto Mall.
I-270 and George Road.
If you're looking for a new career, here's one you don't want to overlook. The demand for drivers in the trucking industry has never been greater. Roadmaster Driver School at the Ohio State Fairgrounds can get you in the driver's seat in just 3 weeks and on your way to a new career. Trucking companies need drivers today. Most offer tuition reimbursement and will pre-hire qualified applicants. Call Roadmaster today at 1-800-831-1300. Working in just 3 weeks and on your way to a professional career in the trucking industry. That's 1-800-831-1300. Call now.
For 45 years, Champion has manufactured and installed some of the finest patio rooms in America. Champion patio rooms add beauty, style, and value to your home. They combine indoor comfort with outdoor enjoyment. 45 years of quality, 45 years of service, 45 years of trust. Call 876-2660. Champion windows, siding, and patio rooms, helping to make your house just a little more like home.
A police whip is still out on the city's north side at 6.
Welcome back. 2-0 DC United with the lead over the Fusion of Miami. Don't forget, for those of you on the West Coast coming up following soccer, Toyota presents the Grand Prix of Miami. Now, this season, more than 35 Major League Soccer games will be seen on ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC, including the All-Star Game and the MLS Cup in October. Our coverage continues in April. Major League Soccer kicks its way back onto ABC Sports next month. On April 11th, the Los Angeles Galaxy traveled east to play the Metro Stars. Alexi Lawless, who played college soccer in New Jersey, was traded to the Metro Stars from New England in MLS's continuing effort to place local heroes near their roots. Alexi Lawless flashed a backline for his new team, which won only 13 games last year. Then on April 18th, Lawless's former team, the Revolution, hosts MLS powerhouse DC United. Another U.S. national team member, Eddie Pope, who scored the Stars midfielder Valderrama is still rehabbing after a second major knee injury in the past 2 years. Major League Soccer on ABC Sports continues all summer, culminating with MLS Cup 98 in October. And on ESPN2, the Kansas City Wizards season opener as they visit DC United. That's Saturday at 8 o'clock on ESPN2. The second half is coming up.
A good sweat isn't so good once the game is over. That's why there's Irish Spring Sport.
It has an extra antibacterial ingredient that kills odor-causing germs better than regular soap. It's Irish Spring Sport. Play as hard as you like.
The Metro Stars take on the Los Angeles Galaxy live on ABC Saturday, April 11th at 3 p.m.
Stick a fork in Jeff. He's done. What? Ooh, that's gotta hurt. What could possess a man to drive like the... Gotcha. He's making his move backward. Gordon wins. We gotta get him a cup holder.
Pepsi, Generation Next. Introducing a whole new look for Pepsi. All new look, same great.
Isn't so good once the game is over. That's why there's Irish Spring Sport.
It has an extra antibacterial ingredient that kills odor-causing germs better than regular soap. It's Irish Spring Sport. Play as hard as you like.
In Mimi's sexual harassment case, Drew has been slipped a Mickey. Now he's under oath and under the influence.
Don't screw up, Carrie. I'm watching you. So you like to watch, huh?
An all-new Drew. Then 21 million tuned in for the premiere. Find out why critics are calling Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place fresh and funny. ABC Wednesday.
Major League Soccer on ABC Sports, brought to you by Pepsi, who invites you to join Generation Next.
Welcome back to Lockhart Stadium, Major League Soccer's opening day. Well, we definitely got a game for you here today. The Miami Fusion have had their chances. We'll show you in a little bit, but right now trailing 2 times to defending champion DC United, 2-0 tie.
It's a tough time for the expansion team, and they're up against a DC United team that was able to get on the board. A great ball by Moreno into Tony Sane behind the defenders, and then Richie Williams finished it off. Here's the controversy in the lower part of your screen. Jaime Moreno kicks at the ankles of Coyman after the play and is ejected for it. But DC, a man down, still comes up with the goal. The Echeverry free kick with the rebound by Tony Sane. 2-0 for the champions.
Sane a goal and an assist so far. The red card, well, that could be the highlight of the second half. Shots, well, pretty even. Miami's just got to put them in the net, let alone on the net. Let's go down to the field, find out a little bit more from Bill McDermott about Tony Sane and whether he'll be adding to those stats.
Well, thank you very much, Bill. Tony Sane will not participate in this the second half. He has a strained right hamstring. Taking his place, when in doubt, go to another Virginia product. That'll be Ben Olsen. Clearly a strong, creative player. He has distributive skills of his own. Another substitute will be Brian Kamler coming on in the back for number 3, Kerry Talley. Kamler wears the number 8 shirt. Consequently, Jeff Agus will go into center back because Bruce Arena thinks that Talley was being exposed a bit too much to the runs by the Fusion offensive players. Phil, back upstairs to you.
Thank you very much. Ben Olsen would have been the number 1 pick next year if he had stayed in. Would have been the number 1 pick this year if he would have come out early and gone in the draft. Right now, because he is Project 40, reunited in effect with Bruce Arena. he gets a chance to make his Major League Soccer debut in game number 1.
He is a top-flight attacking talent with speed to burn and some moves that will leave defenders behind him. So look for the debut here of Ben Olsen stepping on the field for DC United.
Second half underway. DC wearing their white with black trim. Moving from the left to the right. The blue and yellow clad Miami Fusion will be defending the goal to the right. Echeverry keeps it in place somehow. Rifles in the left-footed cross. Sails over Olsen.
What a lethal weapon that left foot is of Marco Echeverry. And the width of this field allowed him to be able to keep that ball in play.
Onger into the middle towards Wagerly. Remember, Moreno getting the red card with 15 minutes to go in the first half. Now the entire second half, DC will have to play a man down. Here's Henry Gutierrez from Oscar. Much of the attack of the Fusion seems to consist of going down towards Comasco and sending the ball into the middle. Stebbins shying away from the header at the last moment, mainly because it looked like it might have ended up being Jeff Onger.
Onger defended well on that play. He stayed right with Stebbins and challenged at the back post.
They're going to call a foul, apparently, on Stebbins. So free kick for Scott Garlick inside the DC area.
So really the way the setup is for DC United offensively, Roy Wegerly, the lone forward since Moreno was ejected.
Had a look at Ben Olsen earlier, the number 14, born in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, calls Middletown his home. Leaving Virginia after his junior year, consensus All-American without a doubt. At 5'8", 140 pounds. Many think he might be a little bit too small for the professional game, but Bruce Arena not one of them. In fact, he likes the fact that he can play him in just about 4 or 5 different offensive positions and get just as much use out of it.
Any attacking position, especially on a big wide field like this, 75 yards wide, 116 yards long. The fact that he's not a massive physical specimen doesn't matter. He's got speed to burn and moves and knows how to get into that space behind defenders.
Here's Onger. Olsen in front of him. Wagerly comes back to win it. Nice touch and a little bit of skill to get out of the danger area. Coyman will touch it back to Cassar. No changes for Miami. Leo Cullen, Henry Gutierrez now on the ball to Wade Weber. Comasco coming in on Kamler. Kamler deflects it away. Almost grabbing hold with Serna. Harks all the way back into his defensive end to clear this one away.
Pretty good composure there by John Harks there. Under defensive pressure in his own end. He was able to turn away from that pressure and still get an effective clearance out.
Serna taken down again by Yamoso. The return pass, Valderrama maybe looking for Maisner. Deflected back to Herrera. Lifts it into the middle. No one at home and cleared away. Throw in Miami.
I just love the angles of Valderrama's passes. Even sitting up here, I'm like, where's he going to play this ball? And suddenly it beats 2 or 3 players and reappears in space for his teammate to run onto. He can spray them about it like the spokes of a wheel at any given angle, at any given time.
Coyman chipping it in too hard. And Herrera can only chase it in disgust. They talk about Echeverry and Valderrama both being artists in the midfield. I guess there's different types of artists in that world as there are here. Valderrama perhaps a little bit more of a deft touch, while a little bit more bold and boisterous, you might say, as Echeverry.
Well, they both possess vision. They see the entire field and know where the dangerous pass should go. There's no question that Echeverry's better running at players, taking them on one-on-one, but Valderrama doesn't have to. He lets the ball do that.
Nice play by Onger. Here's Wagerly. Olsen near side with space. Leo Cullen, the first-round draft pick out of Maryland, marking him briefly. And in fact, it looks like that's what they have done. Pushing Cullen up just a touch. Maisner almost into a defensive mode. Along with Comasco, Weber, and Coyman. So a 4-man defense now for the Fusion.
It's interesting that they would choose to do that when they have a man advantage.
With Cullen in front of them as a defensive midfielder along with Henry Gutierrez. So a 4-man back wall now for defensive mid, and as you point out, they need numbers up top with a 2-0 deficit. Maisner, mishit. Olsen fires the shot. Well, I guess you could say he has the patience of a sharpshooter.
Well, he has the confidence to go ahead and crack that ball, even though it was from a bad angle.
Cacho Cordova on the Miami sideline. Bill McDermott in the background. You had the chance to talk with him, Bill. What did Cacho say at the half?
I did indeed talk with him, Phil, prior to the second half beginning. He said, we've just got to be more patient on the ball, get as many people forward as possible. Remember, they're playing with an extra field player. And he also told me we have to get, as we talked about before the game started, our number 10 shirt, Valderrama, involved. And Ty's exactly right. He sees the field so quickly, and he will do it early, and they must do that with the people forward to get back into this game. Phil?
Jeff Agus is DC playing a little bit of keep away.
Again, that defies explanation since they're a man short. So really, Miami should be able to mark every single DC player and still have an extra man left over as a sweeper.
That was about 10 straight passes before the youngster Olsen assumed a trap and let it bounce out of play. But as you point out, playing a man down, that's impressive.
But I think few people would dispute that the best possession team in Major League Soccer is DC United. The stats bear that out. There's some other very good attacking teams, including the Kansas City Wizards, but they are not able to hold the ball as long as DC United does.
Serna rifles in across. Williams slides it out of danger. Corner kick upcoming, the second of the game for Miami.
This is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense.
Serna.
Office Depot is
Herrera chests it down. Back to Gutierrez. Did not read Wagerly behind him, and here comes Wags on the run.
Perhaps this is typical of an expansion team, but both Wade Weber and Clay Coyman were coming up for the corner kick, and they took a short corner instead. So mixed signals there for the expansion Miami Fusion.
Back to Garlic. With Herrera pressuring, he'll just clear it across midfield. Camasco. Serna and Valderrama
and Richie
looking
Williams
at each other.
Richie Williams shadowing Valderrama as he's been assigned to do.
Of course, when DC has the ball, Williams not afraid to push forward. Gutierrez takes down Echeverri, and that'll be a free kick just shy of the sideline. Henry Gutierrez
had some experience playing in some of the lower divisions in Europe. Gutierrez, a very creative midfielder in his collegiate days at North Carolina State. As you mentioned earlier, Phil playing a more defensive role today, but he may need to step up into the attack with that man advantage and help Valderrama create some attacks for Miami.
Echeverri awaiting the free kick. Serna deflects it away, but straight to Harks. Harks uses Echeverri as a decoy, tries to cut back. Coyman wins the ball. Here's Gutierrez. Gutierrez, nice cut. Do something with it. Deflected away by Williams. Here's Valderrama. Valderrama surrounded by white shirts. Valderrama to Gutierrez.
Surrounded but not worried about it.
Ball comes out of play. Herrera looking to try and start something quickly. Stebbins, remember, no offside on the throw, and Stebbins tries to take the corner and does. No one's in the middle, though, and Stebbins has to hold. Now, Serna dropping back near the penalty spot. By that time, Stebbins was dispossessed.
He used his body pretty well initially.
Here's Serna. Serna sprawling, trying to get something going. And Miami, as you said, the expansion is starting to show.
And you'll also see DC United so organized at the back, particularly now that you do have Agus alongside of Carlos Llamosa. You don't have Kerry Talley in there. He looked okay on some plays, but on other ones, as Bruce Arena mentioned, was exposed a bit.
Gutierrez, nice long ball. Camasco with space as Kamler had slipped. Camasco chips it in, deflected away by Kamler. Kamler says he was pulled down by a Fusion player just before that pass. No call by the referee, so the corner kick upcoming. Chipping it in, Gutierrez headed away by Harks, and Wagley will pick it up for DC. Here's Echeverri.
He could go coast to coast here.
Two, Maisner coming back, Cullen along with him, Wagley on his left. Echeverri, near side, here's Olsen, the youngster. It's 3-on-4, Olsen chips Tipping it towards that far post, and it will sail wide.
Very poor cross by Olsen. And it is his professional debut as well, so perhaps the jitters getting to him.
Talked about this being the second big day in recent occasion for Jeff Cassar, the FIU grad, getting married to Leanna Cassar. They met in Dallas when he was there with the Burn. And I guess she must have really liked him if she followed him here. I mean, what's South Florida got?
It's not that bad. Oh, how'd you like to pick this as your honeymoon? Come here and watch an MLS match.
Nice move, far side, Herrera. Across the face of the goal and grabbed by Garlic. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on between Odger and Stebbins, and Brian Hall will have none of it.
And a fairly difficult grab there by Garlic. He made it look easy, even though it was on the half hop.
Throwing upcoming for Miami. The sellout crowd at Lockhart Stadium. Much of it sitting on its hands, waiting for something good to happen from the Fusion. They were close in the first half several times. Dan Stebbins himself had 4 sitters. They could not get one of them in the net. That one crossed the end line, and it will be a goal kick. MLS seems like it might be taking over the state of Florida. Of course, a team here in Miami, the team in Tampa. Then beginning, of course, July 30th, Disney's Wide World of Sports hosting 3 days of activities leading up to MLS All-Star Game Sunday, August 2nd at the Citrus Bowl in Orlando.
It'll be a fun week down there at Disney World. My daughters have been to Disneyland, but they've never been to Disney World, so they're going to be there to partake of all those festivities with MLS's All-Star Game.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Not bad. Splash Mountain. You could do that. Maybe even taking a couple of soccer games, because they'll have the MLS All-Stars against the World All-Stars, plus another international exhibition. Skills competitions, as we said, it's just a weekend affair. Here's Camasco. Serna trying to dummy past Agus, cannot. Bodies fly. Whistle blows, foul against Serna, and a free kick for DC.
Well, Phil, the most telling blow to the Miami Fusion's chances in this game may have come a week or so ago when their best goal-scoring forward, Jerry Tamashiro, collided with Scott Bugnick, the backup keeper, in practice and got a hip pointer, because those early chances that Miami was able to generate, some really good scoring opportunities, were not finished off by Stebbins, and Stebbins is starting in place of Tamashiro.
Although Tamashiro even would be the first to admit, at 5'7", 150 pounds, he's not that physical, imposing force in the middle. In fact, if there's still one spot, and they do have one international allocation left to go, there's still one spot Cacho Cordova's looking for. It is that man in the middle, and Dan Stebbins has had a chance to claim it for his own, at least for now. Oh, beautiful through ball, and Olsen just mistimes it.
Again, the angle of the pass and the weight of it nearly perfect into space for the runner. And if you go back to the first goal of the match, when Moreno split the Miami defense to get the ball into the corner to Tony Sane, again, the pass had not only a great angle on it, but it had a real nice weight on it so that Sane could run onto it without having to chase it right to the end line.
Moscow. Valderrama. Weber. Here's Camasco trying to cut inside, dispossessed by Kamler. Can't clear it past Weber. Weber laying it into the middle. Valderrama in the box, loses the control. The flag comes up on the far side. Brian Hall waves off the flag, and instead Garlic will have possession. The sunshine breaking out on the field. Let's go down to field level, bringing Bill McDermott.
The sun is indeed breaking out. It's a problem for Jeff Cassar. However, Scott Garlic looking straight down the field play, having no difficulty. However, Jeff Cassar, during practice sessions this week, Phil, we made a point to go behind the field at about the same time, 20 after 5 Eastern time. It's indeed a problem. It is directly in their eyesight for balls that are flighted across the face of the goal. Phil?
Thank you very much, Herrera, to Camasco. One-touch cross, banged away off Kamler. Corner kick coming for Miami. Looks like Cassar is going to be heading to the back, pulling out the cap. Hoping for a little bit of help from Mother Nature.
DC had some injury problems. Also, Eddie Pope not available today. Right foot surgery on February 21st. Clint Piet would have been probably the starting right back. He has an injury
again by Stebbins and pushed wide by Garlick. Coyman fought for the first one, and it was either Weber or Stebbins who got a second touch on it. The ball back in play. Valderrama's cross banged away.
DC United off the hook there. A great chance, the best one of the second half for Miami.
Valderrama. Maisner. Stebbins. Coyman near side. Tripped up by Echeverry. There's a foul. Coyman having a few words for the Bolivian maestro.
Coyman, one of the more intense players you'll see in all of Major League Soccer.
California native. Spent a lot of time playing in Mexico, though.
He was the captain of Cruz Azul at one time, and they're still going at it away from the ball, both Echeverry and Clay Coyman.
Coyman already has a yellow. Remember, if this is going to be dueling yellows, but he will not. Because Coyman did get a yellow for his altercation with Moreno earlier.
I think that yellow card to Echeverry was justified. He was trying to provoke Coyman, knowing that Coyman already has a yellow card, and he slapped him near the face a couple of times, looking to get a reaction out of him.
Instead, he got one out of Brian Hall, and he goes in the books. Gutierrez, this one about 35 yards away from Scott Garlick's net, chipping it in towards the spot, flipped on, header just wide. Nice header that time. Looked like it might be Diego Serna or Dan Stebbins. It's Stebbins again, just missing.
Well, the danger now coming from the air for the Miami Fusion. These high balls into the box. We saw a corner kick earlier, just wide here on this one. Stebbins turning well to head the ball down. Scott Garlick would have had no chance for it had it clipped inside that post. Coach has yet to even consider his bench, trying to inject some life into his attack. He better do it soon.
Near side, Maisner. Flipped away, out of play, throw in DC.
David Vaudreuil warming up on the sideline for the Miami Fusion. He'd love to get his team back into the game, the Miami team against his former team, DC United.
Echeverry brings it down for Andre. Olsen tries to flip it on. Maisner just wails it towards the middle. Herrera whistled for a little bit of obstruction, throwing a body into John Hartz, and a free kick for DC, just outside the center circle. A little bit of a touch foul compared to some of the things that have been going on here today, though. Olsen holds off Maisner. Nice cutback. Echeverry, far side. Kamler's open. Hartz. There's Kamler. Echeverry through ball. Echeverry edge of the six. Echeverry dribbles past Cassard, and the ball flies past the open net, finally cleared away by Leo Cullen.
Ole.
What bag of tricks did he pull that one from?
Echeverry stutter steps, step overs, shoulder feints. Walked by everyone.
Olsen down. Williams rifles in the shot. Loose ball again inside the six. Flag comes up, but play on as the Fusion have it. I have seen Marco Echeverry pull fakes off like that, but not with the goalkeeper planted at the near post, and you're standing less than a yard away.
Echeverry very much knows it's 2-0, so he was going to make a show of it. He may not have held the ball quite as long if the score was 0-0. He was in no hurry to put it away. He wanted to really create a spectacle.
A little bit of a touch foul as Wagerly obstructed, and a free kick right near midfield for DC. Echeverry slams it off Serna. They'll do this one again. Actually, they'll say Serna was cheating in a little bit.
Echeverry will take nearly all of the free kicks in the offensive end of the field because he can take a quick one because he thinks fast, but also because he's so great targeting players in the box with that left foot.
Camasco, Herrera. Nice play by Valderrama. Camasco trying to hold off Kamler. Play on, says the referee. Camasco goes in with a hard foul, DC. Brian Hall said play on. Herrera thought the play would stop.
Comasco out of Ship Bottom, New Jersey, at Hartwick College. Very hard-nosed player. He's frustrated. His team is down by 2 goals, and he's trying to make something happen. You see him battling into the corner here. Now, he gets spun around a little bit. There may have been some holding there, so he's going to try and pay back Ryan Kamler, which he did on a slide, and that foul will now go against Comasco.
24 fouls so far on the day.
Jeff Agus is down.
Comasco ended up taking out Agus following the play. David Vaudreuil getting set to enter the game. Good look at Mario Gori.
Also out through injury. He had another surgery for cartilage on his right knee.
Clock continues. Let's take a look back at how this play developed.
Comasco on the ground here. He already slid late here to get Agus. It was not Kamler, it was Jeff Agus. Remember, Kamler thought he was pulled down just before this. He makes slight contact with the ball, but his intent for the most part was to come in and nail a DC United player, whoever it was. So he is fortunate to escape a yellow card for the second time.
Weber heading the ball back into the midfield. Kamler wins it away from Herrera. Here's Richie Williams. Williams to Olsen. Olsen to Harks. You would be hard-pressed to find out which team is playing a man down. It's the guys in white. They lead it 2-0. Brian Kamler's cross will roll harmlessly wide, but the goal's coming in the first half. 16th minute. DC getting on the board with Richie Williams. In the 36th minute, it was Tony Sane off of a free kick by Marco Echeverri. Miami's Fusion had plenty of chances in the first half. That man, Dan Stebbins, had a number of them. This pass by David Vaudreuil perhaps giving them a chance to try and get something going in their first game ever. Here we are at New Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2 committed to the World Cup Soccer on June 10th, also with that 6-year commitment to Major League Soccer, taking you into the next millennium. Leo Cullen touching the ball. The crowd starting to rise, low-driven cross, and almost tucked in, but cleared just wide by Carlos Llamosa.
Almost an own goal for Llamosa, but good defensive positioning by Llamosa. He didn't want to take any chances in case there was a blue Miami shirt behind him.
Say David Vaudreuil at the near corner coming along with Diego Serna. The one thing he does add is leadership. At the age of 31, the Princeton grad is unafraid to take control on the field. Serna, top of the 6th, flies past Coyman, spins across the end line, and a goal kick for DC.
DC United asserted their dominance, carried over from last year, the goal early in the first half. Here's the second one, the rebound shot after the Echeverri free kick by Tony Sane. The first one scored by Richie Williams from Tony Sane. So Sane left the game at halftime with an injury, already having a goal and an assist.
Leading scorer in the MLS season so far. Kamler sending the ball down the line, and a little bit of a trip up, but Weber will win it back to Jeff Cassar. Let's go down to the sideline, bring in Bill McDermott with the head coach of the Miami Fusion, Cacho Cordoba.
Thank you very much, Phil. Cacho, you've just inserted David Vaudreuil into the lineup. Want to get Maesner a bit forward into the attack?
Yeah, we try to get more people in the attacking zone. I think that we don't disappoint our people. We play in a very good attacking soccer. Fortunately, from 10 opportunities, we don't score 1 goal, you know. And this year, from 3 opportunities, they scored 2 goals. That's the difference. But I can tell you that I'm very proud of what the team is doing right now.
Good. Hopefully, you'll get more opportunities. Thanks, Cacho.
Yeah, thank you.
Phil, back upstairs.
Thank you very much. And Vaudreuil's touch on to Stebbins. I think Dan Stebbins might be getting a little tired right now.
What Cacho said is very telling, and that's the difference. You have a championship team who, when they have chances, has the confidence, the poise to put them away. Miami Fusion start off like gangbusters. First 15 minutes, have 4 or 5 chances nothing to show for it, lost some of their momentum, and DC United took over.
Here's a chance. 5 blue jerseys on the offensive side. Maisner, Herrera touching it through. Valderrama turning the other way, and this ball cleared back to midfield. Again, remember, though, this is about the time of the game where those red card ejections start to pay their toll. Serna to Valderrama, cutting inside. Pass back to Herrera. Nice ball to Camasco on the outside wing. Camasco into the middle. Garlic, oh, an acrobatic grab.
A one-handed grab by Scott Garlic. But going back to your previous point, this is a good fitness drill for the 9 remaining DC field players. At that time, it was Scott Garlic with the heroics, reaching out with the right hand and pulling it in with just that one hand.
Echeverri again going after Clay Coyman. The foul will go against the Bolivian star. Minutes left to go in this game. Pending an uprising by the Fusion. Here's Stebbins. The second touch fails him, and he will not get a third.
Good recovery by Jeff Agers defensively for DC United. Stebbins may have gotten away with a handball as he brought that ball down. But he couldn't pull away from Agers. Agers staying right with it. Valderrama playing with that brace on his right hand, a broken bone in the right hand. He was kicked in practice a couple of weeks ago. I wonder if it's affecting his play a little bit, his balance.
Valderrama, Herrera, lead away by Agus as he continues to limp around. Vaudreuil back towards Valderrama. Beautiful ball brought down by Pibe. One-touch cross. No one running near post quick enough and straight into Garlic's arm.
That's some of the best stuff we've seen from the Miami Fusion. Vaudreuil, a cross-corner pass to get it all the way into Valderrama. Valderrama, no problem bringing that ball down in a tight space. And his cross a bit too close to DC United goalkeeper Scott Garlic.
Some whistles from the crowd. The hometown faithful want some offense.
They should be frustrated. Miami has the extra man. They should really be working the ball quickly, always finding that open man and trying to tire the DC United team here as we get into the latter stages of the game.
Valderrama, Serna, back to Serna. Oh, and the shot hit Yamosa, and he's paying the price for that one. Cleared away. Echeverri whistled for dangerous play, lifting the leg as Vaudreuil was coming in to try and challenge.
The high boot from Echeverri was an exciting play, but it was dangerous to his opponent.
Valderrama, Vaudreuil, Herrera with space, and DC starting to slow down. You can see the motors starting to run out. Vaudreuil looking for help. Here's Serna. Chips it through. No one there, and well controlled by Onger, but some hesitation by Garlic almost made that a dangerous opportunity.
The back pass from the defender to the goalkeeper allowed there because it was off of Onger's chest.
Weber throws in a hip along with the chest trap, and the foul against Olsen results in a DC free kick.
Echeverri's already got a yellow card. He just threw the ball out of bounds.
Tonight on the wonderful world of Disney, Katie Segal stars in the world premiere of Mr. Headmistress. Then Kevin Costner, Dennis Hopper in the epic Waterworld, featuring some never-before-seen footage. All tonight on ABC. Long ball for Wags. Won by the Fusion. Vaudreuil near side. Only 2 substitutions left for the Fusion. And it looks like Chris Kelderman and Ramiro Corrales, 2 midfielders, are those warming up.
2 midfielders, but both of them with pretty good long-range shots, particularly Corrales with his left foot. Seen him score from great distances when he was playing with the under-20 national team for the United States.
Herrera. Coyman. The wave making its way around these sold-out confines of Lockhart.
Oh, it's a wonderful sight. I played here many years ago. Didn't look anything like this.
Bathrooms didn't smell as good either, I would imagine. Of course, course, the locker room's still the same. I'm sure you'd be glad to know, at least till next year. Still a little bit of work to do.
What a gleaming new stadium for an exciting new expansion team in Major League Soccer. Marco Echeverri, about 10-15 minutes ago, put on an exhibition of skill that you won't see very often. The ball for Cameron. Watch the hesitation step, the step over here. He tried to walk this ball into the net, and he nearly does.
Amazing. Tomasco freezes Campbell, touches the ball through. Cleared away. The envelope of blue continues to close around the D.C. area. A wall of defenders trying for an offside trap. Here's Serna. Tries to cut his way inside, and a sliding Brian Campbell will win that one away. Here's Echeverri. Echeverri still in play. Echeverri with only Weber to beat. He'll slow it down a little bit as the Fusion defense comes back. Echeverri cannot cut past Weber. Takes out Weber. The throw-in was already called, though.
Another exhibition of shielding ability, dribbling ability, possession one-on-one by Echeverri, holding off two defenders as long as he feels like it, practically.
And game smarts also.
Well, he builds...
You're already leading 2-0.
Yeah, strategically, it's very intelligent. It kills more time off the clock, but the skill that he's exhibiting, his ability to build a fence around the ball, something like Valderrama was doing right there, to hold the defender away from the ball, putting his body in between.
Valderrama appealing for a foul and gets it as John Harkes was all over him, admiring the new jersey, I'd imagine. Here's Herrera. Richie Williams cuts in front of him. And Herrera not happy. In fact, you can see the Fusion starting to lose a little bit of cool.
They've been frustrated by DC United, and Richie Williams is one of the most frustrating players in the entire league to play against because he's so quick and built so low to the ground. The little general, Williams, wins so many balls at midfield for DC.
Tomasco again all alone on that right wing, sending the ball through. Weber touches. Vaudreuil brings it down. Might have been a handball. Play on. Vaudreuil fights it free, but no one making the charge in the box, and it is picked up by Garland. Echeverri is playing very well, of course, as he's on the ball right now, coming to the near side. Let's head down to the sidelines, bring in Bill McDermott. Bill?
Yeah, and probably one of the biggest reasons he's playing so well, Phil, is the fact that Bruce Arena, the coach, told me that he came into this season the best shape he's ever seen him as a DC United soccer player. He told Marco in particular, that when we're playing a man short, Marco, you're just going to have to be more involved, and that's exactly what he's doing. Phil, back up to you.
Echeverri has taken charge. Look at the touches that he's been able to put together and what he's created for DC United. He has taken command of the DC United midfield as well as the attack in the absence of Moreno, who was ejected.
One touch cross by Olsen in the box. Miscontrolled by Harkes. Vaudreuil. Serna as the blue-clad Fusion try and get something going. Maisner with some space. Onger on his inside trying to defend. Maisner cutting towards the box. Far side is Herrera. Nice ball. Herrera brings it down. Fires the volley, and a good smothering save to his right by Scott Garland.
Now Miami should have been doing a lot more of that a long time ago. Those balls that go from side to side over the entire width of the field. When a team is a man down, as DC United is, they can't adjust to that, and that will wear them down.
Let the ball do the running. Serna, a little bit of shirt tugging going on between him and Ben Olsen. Pushed to the ground, foul, free kick, quickly restarted. Leo Cullen leaves it for Valderrama. Very smart for him. Here's Tomasco. Tomasco into the middle. Onger will head it into the stands, and a corner kick upcoming for Miami. Chris Kelderman getting set to come in. Not sure who will be coming out yet.
Good chance here. The long ball from Maisner on the opposite side, taken straight out of the air after the first touch by Herrera. It's on target. Garlic again, though. No rebounds. He's played immaculately.
Diego Serna will come out. A Medellin native. A little bit of hard work for the 24-year-old. Nothing to show for it on the scoreboard yet. Maybe Kelderman, the ex-United player, can add. Back into the seats.
If we go back
again,
if we go back earlier in the half, the two times that Miami looked the most dangerous were on corner kicks and/or free kick sent in high into the box because between Wade Weber and Clay Coyman, they are very strong in the air.
Valderrama, right foot. Garlick loses cuts. Brian Hall, a soft whistle, but he did blow it. And Garlick was impeded with for the foul and the free kick. Chris Kelderman, 29 years of age, from Neenah, Wisconsin, another one of the Virginia products of Bruce Arena.
There's currently 9 of them on the DC United roster. Those with University of Virginia experience. Bruce Arena, of course, a little bit of experience at Virginia, where at one point his teams won 4 consecutive NCAA championships.
Not bad. Almost 300 career victories, too. Now, he is the Dean Smith of college soccer, if he would have stuck around long enough, but he likes the challenge. And some people think there might be a few more challenges in store after his DC United days are over. Maybe a spot with the national team.
Now, this should not happen, though, for Miami. They have a man advantage, and there are players on the DC team collecting the ball with acres of space around them.
The only thing that really explains that right now is the fact that one team's been together for 3 years. And
that's obvious. That's obvious. DC United has a system. Even though they change a few players, the players fit right into the system, and they have a winning attitude. They seem to be able to find a way to come out on the good end of things despite a setback. Your top scorer was ejected in the first half of play, but you've hardly noticed it for DC United.
Cameron. Touched back by Weber for the Fusion. Kelderman into space for Maisner, who's in the middle. Stebbins was held on to. Now he has the ball at the edge of the box. Williams comes by and wins it.
Maisner probably should have given that pass just a half step sooner. He would have put Stebbins straight through.
Touch back for Coyman.
Coyman, an all-star in '96 for the Tampa Bay Mutiny.
Vaudreuil dueling with Ben Olsen. The youngster bangs it off Vaudreuil out of play, and a throw-in upcoming for DC. Of course, Miami's next game against the expansion Chicago Fire right here at Lockhart Stadium Saturday the 21st. On that day, ESPN2's cameras will be in DC as United looks for a win against Preki in Kansas City. Parks, nice header. Here's Wagerly. Tomasco. And the foul will be whistled, and a free kick upcoming.
What Miami needs to do is to step up, mark every DC United player on the field, and push another player into midfield.
Of course, the next time MLS will appear on ABC, Giant Stadium, as the Galaxy takes on the Metro Stars. We'll be there. Hopefully you can as well. This just the start of a 6-year and maybe longer journey into soccer heaven for many fans around the nation. Williams, a little bit of a gutsy ball, getting it past Stebbins, and Garlick slams it out of danger.
But again, Williams making a pest of himself in midfield there. Always present to clog things up, get a toe on it, and thwart the opposition's attack.
Maisner into the middle. No one was there. Parks, nice touch, slams into Leo Cullen, gets the return pass anyway. Tries to rifle a ball in towards Roy Wagerly's path.
John Hart's moving more freely, perhaps, than we've seen him in much of his MLS career. He had some ankle problems. He finally had a surgery on the one ankle to clear out some problems there. And I'm sure he's getting primed for World Cup. Starts June 10th on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. The USA, they're on the 15th of June, also on ABC.
Quick restart, and Herrera was not ready. Carlos Valderrama, the man in the middle of the offense for the Miami Fusion, will also be busy on June 15th. He'll be leading Colombia against Romania. Get a chance to see every single one of the 62 games, 64 games of France '98 on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2.
Disappointing day, though, for Valderrama. He set up a couple of plays for Miami that should have been goals, frankly, in the early going. And he has that broken hand. He's still wearing the brace on that right hand. And he's not looked as sharp as sometimes as we've seen him many times, in fact, during MLS action.
Still one substitution left to go for Miami. 6 minutes left in the game. Ramiro Corrales still warming up behind the Miami net. And considering the fact the Fusion have 2 goals to make up.
Scott Garlick collected that save very coolly under pressure, but he's also been able to shut down Miami Fusion continually during this game. Another chance for Garlick on the half hop. They're more difficult.
Which team has the man? Leo Cullen against his fellow. Corner kick for DC. United's 4th corner of the game. Less than 5 minutes to go.
Roy Wegerle about to take his corner kick for DC. Can he fill the shoes of Raul Diaz-Arce, the career-leading scorer in MLS who left DC United in the trade to the New England Revolution? Some high expectations for Wegerle, who's a very experienced and skillful player. He's going to have to step it up.
Williams controls for United. Here's Andre. Picked up Andre in the supplemental draft, a cast-off from New England. The one thing that makes Andre so valuable, again, similar to Olsen, is he plays so many different positions. When Hartz is gone for the World Cup, he can play his role. With the injuries in the defense, he can play those roles. Here's Olsen winning the ball away, centers it to Hartz. Hartz touches it to his right foot, fires the shot towards the upper corner. It will sail high. Goal kick for Kassar.
Hartz maybe should have taken a shot on that first touch. It was a nice ball from the rookie, Ben Olsen, 45 miles per hour. Pepsi power shot.
Here's Kelderman at midfield. Long ball for Vaudreuil. Vaudreuil and Maisner. Both of them would have been on the other side this year. Here's Herrera. Kelderman. Into the middle for Cullen. Cullen tried the shot and almost put right on Maisner's full pass.
Maisner didn't expect it.
3 minutes in count.
DC with all their players dropped back, with the exception of Marco Echeverri, who's lurking up in the center circle, looking for a counter-attacking opportunity.
Here's Vaudreuil, keeps his feet. Vaudreuil into the middle. Herrera quickly cutting in. John Hartz to eliminate any danger. And DC playing like the champions they are.
DC must enjoy playing on the wide expanses here at Lockhart Stadium. 75 yards wide, much like their field at RFK Stadium.
Parks, nice touch to Wegerle. Wegerle leaves it. Kamler with the cannon. What a save by Kassar. Brian Kamler might have the strongest shot on DC's roster.
You can hear the power on that shot as it was blocked, but very good approach work, in fact, by Roy Wegerle and John Hartz to get the ball into Kamler.
Pepsi power shot of 55 miles per hour, and he can hit it even harder.
Jeff Kassar still feeling it. It's a heavy shot.
Echeverri leaves it for Olsen.
Notice when Echeverri dribbles, his body is over the ball so that he can hold the defender away. Look at the shielding here. Take forever to get the ball away from him. He literally builds a wall around the ball.
140. Echeverri getting set for the corner. Short. Yamosa switching to Kamler. 70 seconds left. Nice run by Wagerly, splitting the center of the defense. Hard tackle by Weber forces it free. ESPN2 kicks off its MLS coverage, a matchup of two league powerhouses. This very same DC United squad playing Preki and the Kansas City Wizards. Saturday night on the Deuce.
I'm looking forward to that because last year they had identical records in this league. Kansas City, one of the teams that has always had DC United's number over the last 2 seasons.
Richie Williams.
DC's only beaten Kansas City once in 2 seasons of play.
Olsen touching it through. Agu's making the run, and he'll slam it into the corner. 30 seconds left to go.
I'm disappointed that Miami was not able to take it more to DC in the latter stages here with that man advantage. But DC has remained very organized. Echeverry, when he gets the ball, just holds it and kills the clock.
Carlos Valderrama. Camasto, maybe one last chance for the first Fusion goal in history. Across the end line, goal kick as the game comes to a close. Miami Fusion history has begun, but it begins with a 2-0 loss against DC.